A research team recently placed a 3-week-old kitten in front of a Rottweiler. This dog had never seen a cat before, and it had zero socialization with smaller animals. What the dog did next was completely unexpected. It lowered its head, lay down, and began licking the kitten in slow, careful strokes. An animal with a bite that could kill in a single reflex completely softened its posture to nurture a helpless creature. We see even more extreme versions of this in the wild. A female leopard in the greater Kruger region recently killed a baboon, a perfectly normal hunt, until a 2-week-old infant dropped from the mother's body. The leopard spared it. Instead of eating the infant, the leopard picked it up using a gentle carry bite, just enough pressure to hold, but not enough to break the skin. She carried the baboon to safety, groomed it, and stayed beside it through the night to protect it from approaching hyenas. The baboon didn't share her genes. It couldn't return the favor. Every calorie spent was biologically wasted. Yet something in the mammalian brain is executing a powerful protect command before the animal even has a choice. To understand what's actually happening inside the brain during these moments, researchers at the University of Oxford put people inside an MRI scanner and showed them photos of baby faces. This diagram compares the facial structures of a human infant, a puppy, and a baby seal. Across all these species, infantile proportions look identical. The eyes sit too large for the head, and the head is oversized for the body. Within exactly 140 milliseconds of seeing those proportions, the reward center of the brain lights up. The brain makes the decision to care for the infant before the subject is even fully aware of what they are looking at. This hardwired response extends beyond visuals. In 2014, a team at the University of Winnipeg hid speakers in the wild to test how animals process distress calls. This graph plots the acoustic signature of a baby's cry. Notice the distinct pattern: short, repeated, high-pitched bursts that rise steeply in frequency at the end. The researchers played audio of human babies and seal pups to adult deer and marmots. Even though these animals had never encountered humans or seals, they approached the speakers every single time. The mammalian brain possesses a universal detection system. When it hears that pitch and rhythm, it doesn't ask, "Is this my baby?" It simply asks, "Is this a baby?" But recognizing a baby and actually caring for it are two completely different biological outputs. When a male langur monkey takes over a new group, he systematically kills the existing infants. The monkey's baby detection system is working flawlessly. He knows exactly what an infant is. But in this case, the biological software triggers violent competition. As long as the infants are nursing, the females are reproductively unavailable, and killing the young forces the females back into estrus. Because this detection reflex is so predictable, other species have learned to exploit it. The common cuckoo bird uses a parasitic strategy to hijack the caregiving instincts of completely different species. The cuckoo sneaks its egg into a host's nest. When the chick hatches early, it immediately eliminates its competition, physically pushing the host's unhatched eggs and babies over the edge. Researchers at Cambridge discovered exactly how the cuckoo gets away with this. A single cuckoo chick produces a begging call so loud and intense that it perfectly mimics the sound of an entire nest full of hungry chicks screaming at once. This extreme volume overloads the host parent's brain. Driven entirely by the acoustic trigger, the parent will feed an imposter 3 to 4 times its size for weeks without ever questioning why the chick looks nothing like its own young. The baby detection reflex is essentially an unpatched vulnerability. It's a deep-seated safety instinct that nature has turned into a weapon for exploitation and survival. This graphic illustrates the core reality of infantile detection. The recognition itself is a universal constant. The face and the sound are always detected, but the behavioral output, whether that trigger results in a glowing shield of protection or the crossed swords of competition, is shaped entirely by a species' evolutionary strategy. This forces us to look closely at our own philosophical assumptions. We have a long history of treating empathy and compassion as uniquely human achievements. We build our definitions of higher intelligence around the instinct to protect the small and helpless as proof of something elevated in our nature. Yet the evidence shows an untrained dog going gentle for a duckling, a host bird's brain getting hijacked by a synthetic cry, and a wild predator guarding the infant of its prey through the night. The instinct to care is not a human invention. It is an ancient, deeply embedded mammalian reflex, firing in milliseconds across species lines. Evolutionary biology can certainly twist this instinct into a weapon, but its universal presence reveals something important. Our highest virtues are intimately tied to our wild animal origins.